Uh, First, I give Chicago a lot of credit. That first half was they made things really difficult on us. I like the way we came out in the second half. We got a little bit of a lead, going into the fourth, but the big story of the day is Rye's second half, how she just got it going and kept it going, and it was great to see her have like a breakout performance.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to okay, all right. Just wanted to ask about Nas. There was a point in the third quarter where she had a shot clock violation on Angel Reese. She forced one rather, and that seemed to cause this like avalanche. Seemed like defense turned on after that. Did you notice that as well?
Well, I definitely noticed that possession. That was some fantastic defense. I mean, uh, she's tough to guard around the basket, and she's crafty to create some angles. And Nas just did a good job at every turn, cutting her off. And uh, I thought the energy in the building went way up after that stop, and then carried over into some knocking down some shots. So that was a lot of fun.
Coach, you mentioned first half that obviously was slow, but what was the message that you said to your team in the locker room going into the second half?
No, we wanted to make a couple adjustments on how we were doing things, but in truth, we were 3 of 20, I think, from three in the first half, and usually that's when people will tell you to stop shooting them, but that's not a good shot is a good shot, and you just got to keep with it. And uh, we ended up going 12 of 37 from three, and we did a much better job with our field goal percentage in the second half. I, unfortunately, took us a while to get going offensively, but then, once we did and the energy started building up, everybody started to play a little bit better on both ends.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask about BG. I know she's been doing this for a long time, and she just passed Lisa Leslie for second on the all-time blocks list. Just can you talk about what it means to have her in the paint and just what she does for this team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's one of the best players in WNBA history, to be second all time in blocks. And then, on a day where she was being honored for helping us win a gold medal, I mean, it's a big day, and I'm really happy for her. And she's been nothing but great since she's got to Atlanta. I mean, her leadership, she kind of calms everybody down whenever things start to get a little jumpy. So it's nice to have somebody with that kind of experience on the team.
Coach, I know you already talked about Ryan, but what has been the messages the last few games? She hadn't had that breakout before to have it tonight. What's the message that you've been telling her and keeping her going so that the night like tonight could happen?
Well, I mean, she's obviously a special player. And I mean, her game at Seattle was just unbelievably good. So she's capable of having these kind of nights. And it's a matter of just her seeing her opportunities, like when she has space, either to shoot it or to drive it. And uh, I think the more aggressive she gets looking for opportunities, it opens up a lot of things for everybody. They start running at her. She uses her shot fake, then she can get downhill driving. And then once they help, she can move it to somebody else or try to finish, and a lot of times get to the foul line. So, I want her aggressively looking for opportunities. And, today, like once it got going in the fourth, I didn't have to say anything. She just got the ball. And if she had a little bit of room, she was putting it up, and she's feeling really good about it. And I was feeling really good about it. So just a great game by her.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about just the team chemistry and how it has evolved over the last couple of months?
Well, everybody gets along really well. I can't speak for any other locker rooms, but we've been really lucky. Our team really enjoys being around each other. They have a lot of fun. Sometimes I have to, you know, hey, we're gonna get to work here. Like they just enjoy being around each other and joking around and always messing with each other. And it's like, all right, you're really lucky when you have a team that likes each other this much. But at the same time, sometimes it's just time to get down to work and get things done. And because these practices that you have are very short. And if you're going to be making progress, you really have to be locked into what you're doing. And I've always believed you don't get better just because you played more games. You get better because you have a concerted team effort to improve something. And it's my job to kind of identify what needs improved, and then hopefully they lock in, and whatever it is for that day or two things for that day, that we actually see some progress in those areas.
Coach, again, Ryan Herrick coming off of a stellar performance, but I do want to ask you off the court question. Where did the nickname Ride or Die come from?
I just made it up. Yeah. I say she's my rye or die, and it's based on ride or die. I mean, she gave me so many nicknames and stuff like that. I thought it would be only fair to have something in return. The first one was Big Wheeze, and I don't even know what that's about. So apparently there's some kind of cartoon that I'm not aware of, but
Coach,
and I've been afraid to look it up. So don't show me. Don't show me if you'd look it up.
Coach, of course, you guys are in the midst of the Commissioner's Cup. I guess, are you guys paying attention to the standings or anything? Or are you guys just kind of just going out there and just trying? I mean, of course, getting a win, of course, but are you guys keeping up with the stands or anything of that sort?
We won. I mean, we want to win the Commissioner's Cup. Now, we're at a point where we need some help because we, had a slip up, and we can't really control our own destiny, unfortunately. But, we want to keep winning and give ourselves a chance. So if something crazy happens, we can get to that cup and we can win that thing. So for us, that means, we have to win the next two games just to even have any opportunities. But no, we would like to be in it.
Coach, you said that a team gets better with a concerted effort towards, just working on a few things. If you had to kind of point out the top three things you're working on with this team, what have those three things been?
Well, it does. This is, I think, because we're putting in a new system. It seems like we do like work on one thing, and then something that we had going pretty good, all of a sudden it's not as good, and we have to go back and address that. Like our, for at the beginning of the year, we had really good ball movement and spacing, and then all of a sudden we started to emphasize defense a little more, and because we weren't that good at defense, and the defense got better, but then our spacing got worse, and so we had to go back and address that again, and kind of show them how we were playing early in the year, and they're like, oh yeah, I see that. And I think there's some things like that just kind of goes back and forth, and it's until those things become a habit, it's hard to get too deep into a lot of complicated things. Basketball can be simple. How can you get really good shots, and how can you keep the other team from getting easy shots? And so we kind of evaluate if we're giving up easy shots, why? And if we're not getting good shots, why is that? And then that day we work on a couple things to try and help one of those areas.
Coach, JC, 12 and 8 tonight, 12 points, 8 assists. Talk about what she does for your offense, your team overall, when she's getting ready to get that rhythm going like she is now.
Yeah, I thought she gave us a big lift today, and I think each game's been a little bit better for her. She played 30 seconds of one exhibition, and then we put her back out there, and I think she's still feeling her way around. And one thing about when you bring somebody in, the other guards move into different spots, so they're used to playing in certain positions and plays from certain positions. And then it's now I got to learn it from this spot. And then where can JC play a different spot so that we can get our old spots back? So what we're asking the team to do isn't really that easy, especially on such short practice time. But the short answer to your question is each game she's gotten better. And I think, she had some huge baskets for us today, and she had great defensive intensity, which made a big difference for us. A couple of her baskets were really tough, like great footwork in the trees, and somehow found an angle to get a finish. And I'm expecting her just to continue to get better just as she gets a few more games under her belt.
Hi, Coach. I have a two-part question. Are there any strengths that you felt like the Chicago Sky had over the Dream? And how did you pivot after the first half of the game to get the lead back?
Well, I think they were hurting us with their ball screens. I didn't think, they got behind us in the roll a couple times. And, we gave up some either deep catches with the roll or some deep post ups. And, they're pretty good at scoring around the rim. And then, we went under some ball screens on shooters and they made us pay. I mean, I don't know what they didn't make their last few threes, but there's a time for most of the game, they were shooting about 50% from three. Most of them were on defensive mistakes on how we wanted to cover something. So fortunately we got that figured out just in time to make a big run. Like you just kind of got to stick with it and hopefully your run comes. And for us, that was, end of the third, beginning of the fourth.
Thank you.
Thank